Hey guys, right, so this is an exercise that I used to do when I first started learning to paint. It really helped me. If you can get your head around doing this, then you'll have a much better understanding of colour. Much better than if you just read books about colour theory. It's better just to get the equipment you need and just start practicing. You will understand colour a whole lot better if you do it that way. I'm not saying don't read, but just have a go at doing this. I'm going to give you guys the exercise you need to do to have the ability to create any colour that you can see, only using a handful of colours. If you manage to do this, then you're well on your way to becoming competent with colours. So what you're going to need is these primary colours. You need a cool blue, a warm blue, a cool red, and you guessed it, a warm red, a warm yellow here, this is a warm one, and a cool yellow. So what can we do with all these colours? Well, the combination of these colours plus white can be made into any colour you like, pretty much. It's all you need. When doing this exercise, you don't have to buy these expensive Liquitex things. These are just what I happen to have in the house. You can buy poster paints, anything really, as long as you have this range of colours. You know, you have a red that's cold, a red that's warm, a blue that's cold, a blue that's warm, a yellow that's cold, a yellow that's warm. So let's start off by squeezing some of these out. Remember, can you see they're quite a dark, pure colour. I mean, it's better to get the purest colours that haven't been mixed with other colours pre-mixed in the bottle. I have got a few pre-mixed colours here, unfortunately, but we can make do with what I've got for now. And then we have the warm red. It's definitely a warm red. It's just, I think this particular one's been mixed with a bit of white, so yeah, but it still will act as the warm red that we need. And here we have a cold yellow and a warm yellow, and obviously a bit of white, which is, you know, going to really help, especially when we're doing skin tones. So let me mix a skin tone for you guys. First colour we're going to try is this burnt ochre 10%, which is a sort of typical fleshy kind of colour. So we want to make this colour out of these colours. This is a really good exercise. If you get your pencils, your coloured pencils, and you look at them and you're not quite sure what's what, and you don't feel quite confident with colours, do this exercise. It'll really help you in the long run. So we're going to try and create this colour now. Put some white down. This colour is quite a light colour, so it's going to be probably mostly white, with a few other colours mixed in. So I've got a bit of white here. Now the first colour I'm going to try and use to add to this is a bit of this warm yellow. Which red to use now? Well, you can look at this colour and think of the red in this colour. Which red would you like to go for? I mean, I would probably use a little bit of warm to start with, and maybe add a bit of cold when we don't like what we're getting. So look, there we go. We're getting the colour we want almost. Let's have a look. Yeah, maybe it actually needs a little bit more cold red in there as well. Tiny bit of cold red. Just to knock back that extra warmth that we've had. See, it's kind of glowing a bit, it's a bit too warm. So what does this look like now? Almost there, maybe a tad bit more. So this is what you need to be doing really, mixing colours, looking at a colour and mixing a colour to try and match it, and doing it by eye. And the more you do it, the better you will get at making colours, and the better you will be able to use your coloured pencils. So one problem with coloured pencils is that they're pre-mixed colours basically, and you know, you're not going to be doing this with coloured pencils. You're not going to get a red and a, you know, try and make a skin colour by using pure reds and blues, things like that. You know, you're going to use the right colour straight away. So there's something you're missing out on as an artist if you're just starting straight with coloured pencils. It's important to try and understand colour and use colour like this in order to make the colours that you will be using eventually, so you know where they came from. It really helps when you're doing a piece. It makes it so that you know exactly where you need to go when it comes to colours, and you know, and you can exactly match colours. You know, it increases your ability so much doing this, and I would really recommend that anyone new to art, to painting, to colour, to anything like that, have a go at doing this. So look, I've tried to match this up now. Now that's kind of gone a bit too dark almost. Can you see that? So maybe we'll just add a bit more white to it, and I think we might actually have the colour there that we want. Did that by using tiny bit of cold red, bit of warm red, warm yellow and white. So let's try another colour. How do you make brown, for instance? Okay, here we go. Here we go. Got some cool red, some cool blue. Mix it all up. We have a really dark colour. It's a bit too blue. I'll add a bit more red there. There we go. Really, really nice and dark, this colour. Let's add a bit more red, and then add a nice bit of yellow. So we're getting a sort of brownish colour here. It's a bit green. We can combat that by adding some of this warm red to keep it more brown. You see, it's kind of turning into a nice dark brown. Let's go for another pencil. Rotel Sanguine. So it's quite a brown sort of colour. Sort of a darker flesh tone almost, like a tan. Let's try and make that out of these colours. Just clean my brush. Here we go. We get some of this red. It's kind of been a bit marred by the brown here, but we do actually want that brown. A little bit of that brown in here, so that's good. Add a tad bit more yellow maybe, and a bit more this white, and we're actually pretty much there. That was that was a bit too easy. It's because there's some of this brown in there already. But you know what you would have done is get the warm red, add a bit of the warm the cold red to it, a bit of the cold blue to it, and a bit of the warm yellow to it, and start getting these kind of brown hues, and then balancing it out with more red until it's the right kind of colour, you know, and adding some white to lighten it to the right hue. But I think this one here is, I mean, these two together really are perfect. And it actually looks a bit too dark. So we're going to lighten it up a bit, maybe with some of this cold yellow actually. Just needs lightening up with your white probably. That's a bit closer to it. I think it needs some more warm red. And it's about experimenting. You can always fix a colour. You just add more, take away some by adding more of another colour. That's quite close. Bit more warm red and a bit more white. There, that's getting much closer now. Maybe even a bit more white than that, just to get it exactly on the tone. Yeah. So there you have it, another colour. You know, you don't have to paint a whole face or paint a massive thing, but at least what you should do is get the pencils that you're using and understand how they have sort of come together. Look, this is a slightly different one. This is a slightly different flesh tone. This is, I think this is Light Flesh by Faber Castell, and here we have the difference. I mean, I was talking about the difference between these two before. This is the luminance version of Light Flesh, pretty much. It's called Ochre, Burnt Ochre 10%. From having a glance there, 10% ochre seems to have a more of a warm base to it. This one would need a bit more of the cold tones. So this is how I've described these two before. So when doing a drawing, you can tell that this is what I'll go for if it's a more warm shade and a sort of a warmer base to start off with flesh, and I'll use this one if it's a colder flesh base. So let's have a look and try and create this one now. This is a very light colour, so we are going to need white, cool red, and some cool yellow, I think. Let's give it a go, let's see how it goes. So we've added that. Let's add some of this colder yellow. Now it looks really yellow. Bit more red. See, if it's looking too yellow, add a bit more red. If it's looking a bit too dark, add a bit more white. It's quite a pinkish tone, so see, because this cold red is really cold, so it's quite good to add a bit of this warm red into it as well, I think. I think this is almost the colour we need. We just need to make it a lot lighter. So add a load of white to it. There's the colour. Here's what we've done. Probably needs to be a bit lighter still, and a touch more cool red. I think I went slightly overboard with the warm red there. Touch more cool red. Not too much, just a touch. Some white. Let's get some more white in there. So how is this looking now? I wonder. Yep, it's a lot closer, I'd say. Again, maybe a touch more cool red. Bit more white. So yeah, you can see, you know, how I've got there with that. I could even add a bit more white here and a bit more cool red, but you can kind of see where I'm coming from with that. So give it a go, guys. Doing this will not only help you understand colour theory, it will also train your eye to really see what a colour is, because you're creating it from scratch. Hope that's helpful, and I will see you guys next time. Cheers.